Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Call Time, a theater pod, where every role in theater matters. This is the space where we can talk about it all, where we can laugh, learn, and sometimes call out the chaos. So sign in on the sheet, because it's call time. All right, hey everybody, it is Marisa, Helene, Mast, and your hostess with the mostest. And we are here with another Marquee Moment, which is where we take a brand new show, musical, experience, artist, whatever, it deserves to be on your radar. So take your seats. Go ahead and take a sip out of that very priced over mission cup that is probably going to be your talking point as a souvenir for the next decade of your life. Listen, we all got to start somewhere. And so today we are going to be looking at the brand new musical Doom Girls, which is happening at Hollywood Fringe right now. And we're here with the creators of that show today. Hey, Jenni and Matt.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Jenni Chiaramonte. I'm the writer and one of the producers of Doom Girls, and I'm also a performer, and I also wrote most of the music.
I'm Matt Morillo. I'm executive producer of Doom Girls, as well as a producer with Jenni, and I directed it.
Fantastic. So happy to have you both here today. I'm very excited to be talking about Doom Girls. So the first question I think I would have to ask seems pretty obvious, but I think it's a good place to start, which is, what is Doom Girls?
So it's actually a play with music. It's like a satirical sci-fi play, you would say, right?
Yeah, I would say that's fair.
Yeah, and it's about 3 extraterrestrial secret agents who are best friends and play in a band together, and they get called back to they think they're on leave, like we're retired, and then they get called back into action for a mission to track down a dangerous fugitive who's fled their planet and stolen a very powerful crystal that doesn't just affect their planet but affects their entire planetary system. And he's fled to Earth, and he's posing on Earth as a podcast bro. So they have to come to Earth, and they kind of navigate like human beings, and they have these preconceptions of humans and Earth, and they get into some adventures.
I am already hooked because I'm a believer in the extraterrestrial world. I love that he's a podcast bro. That's so freaking funny.
He's the type of podcaster we don't like.
Yeah, I know.
The right-wing con artist,
Yeah.
bullshit artist. You know.
Oh, the alpha being like, guys, like, you gotta listen to me. I know what I'm talking about because
Find yourself a woman who wants to cook your meals. Those guys.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. No, I've run into quite a few, unfortunately. Where did the idea for the show come from?
Matt wrote a play called Sweet Air that we did last year, and he was kind enough to write it for me, and I was in it, obviously, because anything he writes for me, I'll be in. And our director, Katie Oliver, she was our director, and we were talking about, like, what do you want to do next year? And we were like, I know we haven't finished this, but what do you want to do next year? And, she sings and plays guitar too, and we were kind of like, something where we could sing, maybe like a crime-fighting girl band who, like, like their front is the crystal shop or something. And then, long story short, she's doing a different show with Kristen Hansen called the Mary and Margot Art Experience, which Matt also produced for this Fringe. But I was like, well, I'll still do. We come up with Doom Girls somehow, or I think maybe I came up with it, and I was trying to figure out. Like, I sat down to write it with sort of the idea I came up with when talking to her, and it wasn't really working. And then we had done a variety show, and I wrote a short play involving an AI girlfriend and an alien girlfriend. And I was like, oh, what if I do sci-fi again? And so it kind of evolved from like having been brainstorming with someone else, and then taking one genre that I had never done sci-fi before, and I was like, maybe that's what I need. And once I had that in my head again, it helped me like come up with something. And now here we are.
I love a journey like that. Genuinely. I think that's really, really awesome. So in terms of the development of the show itself, has there been anything that's surprised you while creating this whole universal journey of the show Doom Girls?
Yes. For me, I mean, Jenni has crafted such an imaginative piece here. in the sci-fi genre and then combining some satire with it, which is very, very super clever. And I have never worked on a piece like this. My style when I write my own stuff is very like one place, one location, two characters. That's it. And this is quite an ambitious project, and it was quite a challenge, but terrific. It really stimulates you creatively, and that I wasn't prepared for, and that's been a lot of fun actually.
Yeah, I think with the development, like having to do so many different creative things because I knew I wanted to put music in it. And I
Mm.
am a musician and I knew I could do it. I just knew it would be time consuming. But like I asked my brother, like, hey, I was like, he's probably gonna say no, he's so busy. I was like, I'm doing this play, and it's like aliens. Do you want to write a song? And he was like, tell me more. And I was like, what? And so he wrote the instrumentals for one song. My old songwriting partner back in the day, like he's from New Jersey too, actually. And we used to get together when I lived in New York City, and we would like write together. And I was like, do you want to write one of the songs? And so like bringing them in to write some of the music and then like seeing how it affected other people in the cast was like we have one of the actresses, Cynthia Dane, she made this like amazing box that looks like a spaceship that we brought to all the networking events and put our postcards in. And she was like, oh, I have my costume already. Look at these pants I made. And like seeing and then like people collaborating when we were doing still kind of finishing up the script and doing table reads and people like everyone getting to put their own like creative spin on things and then even doing like our tech, Rebecca Schoenberg, our stage manager, had some great ideas for lighting, but we had to do like basically the sound and visual cues. And I had never done that before. And I was like, I don't know, does this sound cool? Does this sound like we're crashing? And I went in there and I was just like, wow, that was like really fun. Like a tech rehearsal was really fun. It's never been fun before. Like usually, I mean, it was stressful, but it was like exhilarating. So
Yeah.
a lot of it, even like difficult things have been like really fun. And that was surprising. And the rehearsals were so fun. Like every rehearsal was so fun and we all have such great chemistry. And I've worked on awesome projects. I don't know that I've had a project where every rehearsal has been fun. So that was surprising too.
It is very rare when
Yeah.
that happens, when everything is like, it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is a very underrated and I would say underutilized feeling in creating theater of any kind. So I'm really, really happy that you've had that experience with Doom Girls. Like that I think that just makes it all the more special,
Yeah.
without a doubt. And speaking of special, I want you to take a moment. Tell me about your cast. I want you to, since they couldn't join us today, I would love to know who was a part of this. Gush about them.
For sure. I basically, with like one exception, wrote the parts for everybody involved. And so, like, Nina Ransell, she plays one of the extraterrestrials named Lyra. I saw her in a show last year called Brick by Brick at the Fringe, and it was nominated for like 6 awards. And it was her one-woman show, and it was amazing. So she's involved in a couple projects, and she sings and plays guitar. And in her show last year, I saw her. She was like jogging on a treadmill and like saying her lines and like playing guitar and singing on the treadmill. And I was like, wait, that girl, who's in the show, and like she would be really good for this character. And then Alex Sarno, we've worked with a bunch of times. You might recognize her if you're a millennial or older.
Well, if you're a human being,
Well, I
it's one
guess,
of the
yeah. Well, some people
it's one of the most
surprise
watched
me.
movies of all time.
Some
Go
people
ahead.
surprise me. Well, she was the little girl in Titanic, like You're My Best Girl, Cora. So
Yep.
yeah, and Matt was friends with her, like met her.
When I first moved down
Yeah.
to Culver City 15 years ago,
Yeah.
she was a bartender at one of the bars I used to hang out in, and we became friends, and we've worked with her several times. She's terrific talent.
Yeah.
So,
That's amazing.
I was like thinking about like writing. I was like, okay, like who can play this role? And I was like, and I texted her. I said, you can't, you don't sing, right? She's like, I don't sing. I'm like, you don't play an instrument? She's like, I don't play any instruments. So I was like, I was like, well, I think I'm going to cast you anyway, and you'll just like do something. And she was like, you don't have to cast me. I was like, no, I want to. Like, I really like to work with the same people. We like to work with a lot of same people that we're comfortable with. And
Yeah.
she like really made the role. I like imagined it in one way, and she made it so much more endearing and interesting. And like the chemistry with me and her was always there, but Mina, who was pretty new. Like we hadn't worked with her, but we all three of us just meshed. Like the whole cast meshed. So
Yeah.
it was cool to see between the three of us who were playing best friends, like that her and Nina and Alex got along really well, and me and Nina and Alex all together. It felt like we'd been friends for a long time. And then I mentioned Cynthia Dane before, and she's a pro. She's worked on a lot of different things. She knows everybody. She has made her character Anais just way better than I could have imagined. Like, she just has so much fun with it, and she's like, you could tell she's a favorite because opening night, like, or our preview, I think a couple times after like her big scenes, people applauded like after she left, and she's gotten some shout outs and reviews, and she's been like very helpful to the project. She let us use her backyard for rehearsals, and she has like tons of experience. Like she's just so professional and so experienced and seasoned, and like seeing her process in rehearsals and then seeing it translate to stage and being like, oh, I see that now, and like the chemistry between like, so we're the three extraterrestrials, and she plays the human that we meet, and seeing like the relationship form between the three beings and her, it's like been really cool to watch her process. And then Tamika Caton Donegal plays our commander Pandora, and she's just once again made the part better than I could have imagined. And she just has this like she's gorgeous and has this like presence on stage and this great voice for the part. She's also a voiceover actress, so that helped. And she's just so funny, and like the chemistry where she's like our boss, and like we're like afraid of her, but like we also want her to love us. And like she's just also like a delightful person to work with. And then last but not least, Tim Will. We're having a little trouble finding our fugitive because we sort of imagined him older,
Yeah.
right?
And Tim's a very handsome young man, but that's part of why he works.
Yeah.
Because you know, you think about these you think about these right-wing podcast bros, and none of them, at least that I can think of, are like empirically like really good looking. And yes, their personality, any good looks they have would be destroyed by how shit their personalities are. However,
Exactly.
you think, I always say, like, for example, with Donald Trump, like, God help us the day someone handsome and charming comes along with his rhetoric. The damage that person could do, you know?
Just send a full body chill to my spine.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm old enough to remember when we had someone similar named Ronald Reagan, handsome, charming, with bad ideas. The point is, casting him really works because he is young, charming, handsome, all that, and you'd like, damn, he could sway people.
Yeah,
you know.
I was like, I don't know, is he too young? And he doesn't like come off as young. He's like very wise. And I'm like, are you sure you're in your 20s? Like he's always very like wise things, and I don't know, he's lived like past lives, I think. And so and he was in our variety show, and I knew he was very nice to work with. And I always like one important thing is just someone who's easy to work with, someone who's nice to work with is very important. Alex Sarno worked with him a little more directly than me, and so we offered it to him. And the first rehearsal where he, where we, the beings meet him, and he just started saying his lines, even just like with the script in hand, and I was like, oh yes, this is it. Like he just had these great instincts, and just very easy to work with and very sweet.
This sounds like a really stellar cast, and I'm very excited for people to love them as much as y'all do. And obviously you've continued to work with them project to project, which I think is an awesome thing. We love having reliable, talented people to come back to. You know, I cherish those people, and I appreciate them very much. Shout out to all of you. You know who you are. Or you don't. That's fine. This is a hard question to ask because I don't necessarily want any spoilers for our audience, but is there a moment in the show that both of you look forward to every single time?
For me, yeah, but I'm not sure I should say it because it would be a spoiler.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you describe it in one word? 1 to 3 words. No, and no. Yeah.
I would say, if I could describe it in 2 words, clever twist.
we love a clever twist.
I think the second song that we do, because just the more we like practice it, it gets so much more. It's just gets more fun and more fun each time we play it and sing it. And by that point, it's kind of like it's like right after the middle. Like we're close to the end at that point, and I feel like all the adrenaline from the show, and then like the stakes are raised because they're like getting close to like their objective. And so we sing this song and it's like a funny, fun song. And it just helps me, I can only speak for myself, like kind of get some of the anxiety out that is like built up. And it just, because something about singing, like getting that out there. And it's just such a fun song. And then because Alex, who actually, she doesn't sing or play an instrument, but she did, I said, well, maybe you can have a tambourine. And she was like pretty good at the tambourine. So we all,
Yeah.
so I love it because we all get to perform together. But I think probably my favorite moment is the second song we do.
Fantastic. And what a wonderful way to transition into talking about the music.
Ah.
So we didn't plan this at all. So talk to me about the music. It is original music, as you had mentioned. And how many songs are there overall?
There are 3 main songs, and then I wrote like transition music for when we go to like the next scene or the next day. So like little guitar interludes. There's like a fun Western theme that repeats whenever they travel. And then when they're like rushing to get somewhere, it like speeds up. And there's like a scene where I don't want to give too much away, but they get involved in some human activities and they see some things in their heads maybe. And there's like some fun
Things.
visuals and music with that. But the songs that like we perform 2, and then the third song, just for the sake, because it's a festival, for the sake of time and logistics, I was like, I'll record it and then it'll play over bows as if it's like, and it's like the theme song. So it was like kind of like the third song, but we don't perform it.
For the other songs, you are performing them live.
Yeah, the first song is over a track because while I play acoustic guitar, I don't have an electric guitar or know how to play. And so my brother wrote the instrumentals and then but I wrote the melody and lyrics. And so Nina and I sing over that. And then the second song, I wrote everything and we play acoustic guitars and sing over that. And then the third song is just all recorded.
It's a nice little bit of everything. You get some live elements, you have some cool recorded elements. It kind of just makes things a little easier transition wise because yes, it is a festival and there's only so much time to play everything you could ever want. But what does it mean to you as, someone who writes music and writes songs? Like, what does it mean to you to have the opportunity to really play your own songs in a festival, in a show, in an opportunity like this?
I mean, I feel really lucky because I hadn't been doing music for a while. And Matt, when we did Sweet Air last year, there was like a song and dance portion. And I think you said like, oh, you could write the song. And I was like, oh God, I haven't written music I mean, a little bit during the pandemic, but I was like, oh no. And then I did it. And I think there's like one little section where we sing for like a second. And I was like, oh God, that was so much fun. And I said, well, if we do it again, can we make it bigger? And can we sing more? When we were talking about what are we going to do for Fringe this year, I knew I wanted to do something with music. And I'm like, is that okay? He's like, of course it's okay. And I was like, okay, because I want to do a few songs. And I was like, oh, why did I decide to do this? Like so much work, but it worked out. And I was lucky because a couple people helped me with the music, but I was able to like incorporate lyrics that have to do with the characters, like what they've gone through in the beginning and what their journey is in the middle. And then the end is like the theme song. And I was kind of like, wow, I can't believe I even made the songs like relevant to the story. And I just feel lucky that like people like want to come listen and people like saying things, hearing my like the cast or even you were like singing one of the songs yesterday. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it gets in your head. Yeah.
It's so cool. Like, I just feel very grateful to Matt for allowing me to do this and making this happen and like trusting me because it was a big undertaking. And I was like, I think I'm going to do 3 songs. And he's like, okay.
I kept warning her to be careful about how complicated you made it for yourself. However, By doing so, I was dishonoring the teachings of my mentor, who would always teach us, make it difficult on yourself. That's how you learn. Challenge yourself. And I have watched Jenni really go through a baptism by fire in this play and what she's accomplished with it and what she's been able to do. That has blown my mind. And I've been doing this since the late freaking 90s. So, yeah, pretty impressive with the amount of the tour de force that this is. So.
But that's freaking tastic. I love that. It makes me want to cry. I'm not gonna do that. I've been crying all day. Anyway, but I would love to know, both of you, what is your which song is your favorite, if you have one?
Mine's the one I keep singing.
The first one?
Yeah.
The first one's called Stars Are Free. And then I thought that would be my favorite because my brother wrote the instrumentals. I mean, I love all of them. And that one is special to me because he's on the East Coast. He's in New York, so I don't get to see him that much. So I feel like he's performing with me in a way. So that is special to me. But I think it might be the second one, just because I wrote all of it and because it's just really funny. And it where it's like at a point in the story where I feel like I finally start to relax, and it's like towards the end I finally start to relax. But it's like getting it all and it's just like the lyrics are just funny because they're described. I don't want to give anything away, but they describe like what's been happening. And the first song is a little more serious and a little more emotional, and the second one is just like really goofy and funny. And because we all get to play together, and like Nina sings and plays guitar with me, and Alex is on the tambourine. So I think that's my favorite because all of us get to play together, and because it's just so much fun. But I love all of them.
That's fun. Good. I would hope that you would. I think that's very helpful. So at this point, I would love to know from both of you, what do you feel like you've learned about yourself through the development of Doom Girls, or just the process of being in another Fringe?
I've learned two things that I think kind of go together. Is that like, because there were so many times where I was like, I can't do this. This is so hard. Like I just remember sitting with my laptop in front of me being like, I can't finish this. I can't write this. Like, I don't know, this is a dumb idea, and like just wanting to give up. Texting him probably like at like 1 a.m. while you were still on the East Coast, like, I don't want to do this. This is dumb. And then now we're here, and it's like, I think I've learned that I, within reason, things that I have, like, if I put my mind to something, things can be done. The other thing I learned though is that I tend to like do too much, and so asking for help is really important. So when I was talking like, "Hey, can you look through this footage and tell me what you like about it?" Because I knew it would take him. He's a pro. He'd be like, "Yeah, this, and this," and like other people being like, "Do you want us to do this? Do you want us to do this?" Like, "Okay, yeah, can you do that? Can you do that?" Like instead of just me trying to take on everything. So learning how to like, I don't know, like delegate a little and like manage like what I can and can't do, but also knowing that like I feel like I'm all over the place, but like I didn't think it would happen, and it's happening. So yeah, like just that, like, oh, I am capable. If I want to write something, I can write it. If I want to write songs, if I want to ask people like, hey, do you want to help me write a song? They were excited to do it, and so that, yeah, I think I answered the question.
You absolutely did. It is, and it resonates real hard right here. So I'm super proud of you, Jen.
Thank you.
I've learned that this is definitely a young person's game, and it is, and I don't qualify with that description anymore, but I can still do it. I have learned that it's incredibly fortuitous that I stopped drinking alcohol, because I don't know how I would have done this while doing that. I don't know how I ever did, because I'm in like an old man. I'm in bed at 10 o'clock at night, and I'm up at 6 in the morning, and I'm getting things done, and that was not the way it used to be.
Yeah,
So
we had morning rehearsals, and
we had morning rehearsals.
that surprised me too. I was like, if I had in the morning, because 6 people in the cast, very heavy schedule, like different schedule. I was like, if we have to do morning rehearsals, I'll do it.
And I, yeah, and one advantage of that, it makes it easy to get rehearsal space, because no one does mornings, and it's not only available, it's cheaper. because no one fucking rents it. So.
So now we're putting that out there. Now everyone's going to start doing
Yeah,
morning
they all work in bars. They're not getting up early to do rehearsal.
Fair enough.
That. So, one thing in the game I'm ahead on. So
that's awesome, and I'm proud of you too, Matt.
You're the one.
I'm proud.
So, what I would love for you both to do now is I want you both to stare down the camera, and I want you to manifest the future of Doom Girls.
Some people have been saying it reminds them of like cartoon or a comic. I would love. I mean, you said nothing is too big, so like some kind of Doom Girls TV series, whether it's with human actors or extraterrestrial actors or cartoon comic, like that, some kind of series would be really cool. I'd love to just do it again with like on a larger scale with like more of a set, we have like a little thing that's part of like our spaceship, but doing it, I would just love to do it again after having kind of worked some stuff out in this run. So, short-term goal, long-term goal. I think we could do that.
I'd like to see that as well. I'd like to see it either get its own run or become a web series.
Ooh.
Something to that. This, without giving away any spoilers, this piece does function in some ways as an origin story. Mm-hmm. So, if this was a movie, people would be like, they're planning a sequel. So.
Amazing. Well, I would like to add to this manifestation as well, where first and foremost, I manifest a very successful run at Hollywood Fringe this year. And I manifest that this gets picked up for Edinburgh Fringe, for Philly Fringe, for Australia Fringe. Anywhere you want to go, that's where it'll be. I manifest that you be sought after and fought over as to who gets to have y'all next. I also manifest, honestly, I would really just love the music from Doom Girls available either in physical form, because I'm a physical media girly. I love vinyl. I love CDs. I still have my cassette tapes. I still have like we got 8-track at my house. Like I love physical media.
First part of the 8-track.
Ayo. But I'm just really excited what's going to be happening with Doom Girls. So let the people know where and when it's running, how they can follow the development of Doom Girls.
It is currently running at the Broadwater Black Box. You can, if you look up on the Hollywood Fringe website, just search Doom Girls. The play's Instagram page is at KADM Productions. Yours is at Matt Morillo. Mine is at Jenni Chiaramonte.
Amazing. And all of that information is going to be on screen and in the description box below. Matt, Jenni, I am so glad to have had you here today on Call Time. I'm very excited for Doom Girls and its future development, and I'm very excited to know both of you now. And yay! I don't really know how else.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you so much. I know I just randomly contacted you. It was like, someone told me about your podcast.
No, believe me, I was like, excuse me? People are talking about the podcast? Sure. My gosh. So I appreciate that very, very much. And I want to thank all of you out there in Living Land for tuning in and signing on all the call sheet for Call Time at Theater Pod, Marquee Moment for Doom Girls. My name is Marisa Helene Mast. You are the audience. Bye-bye now.
See ya.
This podcast was made possible through the support of viewers like you. Thank you.